All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a standing ovation to the man here, Wayne Henderson, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Henderson and friends.
Thank you. I'm telling you, this is pretty much a sight. I'm so excited and nervous and scared to death and everything else. And appreciate y'all making our last festival one of the most special that it could possibly be. And all the folks that's come played. And I've got my bunch here that I play with regularly, and even got old Jimmy Edmonds. That's a little bit of an unusual thing. He built some of the finest guitars in the world, and you almost never get him out of that shop. But I bet he can still play that fiddle. Got Randy Greer and Herb Key and Josh Scott. A little bit later I may ask, and I usually have young'uns and stuff. So we're going to play a tune here, see how everything goes. I need to talk a while Jimmy gets him the microphone. Enjoyed tell the story. What story could I tell? What story could I tell? One about all there's this many people here. There might be somebody that ain't heard about the elephant that come through radio. I know if you ever heard me play before, you've heard this story. But you know, I live in Rugby right here in this community just off of the mountain. Ain't but 7 people. And when there's always been 7 people. They say every time a new baby's born, somebody leaves town. And it stays the same. So anyway, the circus come through. They wouldn't stop for 7 people, but we had excitement anyway because they flipped the wagon over that hauls those wild animals around, you know, circus animals, spilled them over the hill, and we had lions, tigers, every kind of thing running around. And that scared us all to death, but the circus people caught them up and they didn't hurt anybody, so that was cool. But what I want to tell you the funny story about, they lost the elephant and couldn't find it anywhere. Sheriff got word he'd been out at this lady's farm, and he went right up there the next morning, asked her if she had seen an elephant, and she said, well, and come to find out, that old lady had never heard tell of an elephant, never even seen one in a book or anything. And the sheriff, trying to describe what he was looking for, said she'd seen one. Said, yes, right. There was one right up in my garden this morning, or a big old animal like that. And said, you know, it's pulling up every one of my cabbages with its tail. And pulling up cabbages with its tail, what in the world was it doing with them? She said, you wouldn't believe it if I told you. that kill enough time with me. Leather Richards, get me up. Kick off Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, over all the 30 years we've had this festival, I've been able to trade guitars and do stuff like that and get some pretty special people to come up here and do this festival for us. You know, we've had Vince Gill, Ricky Skaggs, Roseanne Cash, Gillian Welch, and bunches of others. I'd miss them all if I tried to name, but we've got one this year. So it's pretty cool. And this young fella, these folks could be playing anywhere in the world they want to be. We could be playing at Carnegie Hall and for sure the Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that, but their goodness of their heart, they'll come to honor our little festival and our, you know, what we do with their money and stuff. It helps us out so much, and they got to be pretty nice folks that will do that. And this fella, I've met him and known him enough to know that that's exactly what he is. So if you give a hand to a huge star, here comes Brad Paisley.
Well, how much more in the middle of nowhere does it get than this? This is like about halfway up the road. I'm like, we got to be about getting there, right? They're like, you're halfway. Thank you for having me, and I'm honored to get to pick with this legend, this man that's the most important acoustic builder of our lifetime, I think, and just an unbelievable human being. All right, guys, we've never played together before. This is going to be great. I've got some big news. The bank finally came through. I'm holding the keys to a brand new Chevrolet. Have you been outside? Sure is a nice night. How about a little test drive down by the lake? There's a place I know about. When the dirt road runs out, we can try out the four-wheel drive. Come on now, what do you say? I can hardly wait to get a little mud on the tires. Hey, it's a good night to be out there soaking up the moonlight. Stick out a little piece of shoreline. I've got the perfect place in mind. It's in the middle of nowhere. One way to get there, gotta get a little mud on the tires. Play that thing. Moonlight on a duck blind, catfish on the trot line. Sunset's about 9 this time of year. We can throw a blanket down, crickets singing in the background, and more stars than you can count on a night this clear. I tell you what we need to do is grab a sleeping bag or two and build us a little campfire. And then with a little luck, we might just get stuck. Let's get a little mud on the tires. Here we go! Hey, it's a good night to be out there soaking up the moonlight. Stake out a little piece of shoreline. I've got the perfect place in mind. It's in the middle of nowhere. One way to get there, you gotta get a little mud all the time. way to get there. Gotta get a little mud on the tires. And there with a little luck, we might just get stuck. Let's get a little mud on the tires. I just fired my regular band. What are y'all doing next couple months? This would be, yeah. Now, and you know what's great? We don't even obviously need to rehearse with them. They made way fewer mistakes than guys have been playing with me for 20 years. No, yeah, well, thank you, Legend, for inviting me. Last year, when I heard this was the last one, I set it on the schedule, and I said I am going to be there. I don't want to miss it.
We certainly do appreciate you. Big lady, gentlemen enough to honor our little cause here and come up here in the middle of nowhere. It's somewhere right now, right?
Yeah, this is.
But anyway, we appreciate you so much.
This is the third highest populated place in Virginia out here at this point. You'd be second in West Virginia.
I heard the story there a while ago. They ain't 7 people around town.
Oh yeah.
They out here regularly.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'll do one. You guys haven't heard this before, so if you join in, that's fine. But I mean, we'll see if y'all relate. Speaking of 7 people from your hometown, my hometown was 1,200, Metropolis. First date, first kiss. Yeah. Campbell, right? You want that? Yeah. Whatever you want. one more time, let me get this right. Let's do this one more time. Sorry, no, I'm kidding. I need one more take at that. Just first try. He thought it was serious. He was like, all right, here we go. One, two. Well, I love her, but I love the fish. Spend all day out on this lake, and hell is all I catch. But today she met me at the door, said I would have to choose. And if I hit that fishing hole today, she'd be packing all her things and she'd be gone by noon. You guys ready? Well, I'm gonna miss her I get home. But right now I'm on this lake shore, and I'm sitting in the sun. I'm sure it'll hit me when I walk through that door tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna miss her. All of you there, I've got to buy. Somebody pick that thing. Who can by, Lord, by. There's a bed on the waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, please drive slow for this lady and you are. And Lord, I hate to see her go. Yeah, well, the circle being broken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a bitter on the waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. So I follow close behind her, try to hold out and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in her grave. Yeah, well, the circle being broken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a bitter all the waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. The man himself. Yeah, the circle being broken by and by. sky. Thank you guys for having me. God bless Wayne Henderson. How about it?
God praise him, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand. Give him a hand.
Luthier friend, he helps me work in the shop, and just Herb, actually one of my favorite folks in the world as far as that goes, and especially geezer people anyway. Here's one of them do you got the preacher and bear.
Now preacher went out a hunting, 'twas on one Sunday morn. Was against his religion, but he carried his gun along. He shot himself 3 mighty fine quail and 1 little measly hare. Then on his way returning home, he saw a great big grizzly bear. Now the bear marched out in the middle of the road, up to the preacher you see. Preacher got so excited that he climbed up a cinnamon tree. The bear sat down upon the ground and the preacher climbed out on a limb. Then he cast his eye to the Lord in the sky, and these words he said to him. Oh Lord, didn't you deliver Daniel from a lion den? Also deliver Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then 3 Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good book do declare. Oh Lord, if you can't help me, please don't you help that bear. Was up in that tree, I think it was all night. He said, Mr. Bear, if you bother me, I'll give you an awful fight. Just about that time the limb let go and the preacher came tumbling down. You could see him getting his razor around before he hit the ground. Now he hit the ground, he cut right and left, put up a very good fight. Then the bear grabbed the preacher and squeezed him a little too tight. Now the preacher dropped the razor and the bear held on with vim. Then he cast his eyes to the Lord of the sky, and these words he said to him. Oh Lord, didn't you deliver Daniel from a lion den? Also deliver Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then 3 Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good book do declare. Oh Lord, if you can't help me, please don't help that bear. Yeah.
I know, I'm not. We need
Oh, you're
Kibo.
supposed to be an F.
I was like, this is wrong. I can't do that.
What
This,
do I do with that cake, boy?
I was like, I thought I was playing the right notes, but it was probably
Well,
me, but it wasn't.
That's a good test, Jane.
I passed.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I was like, this is not very good.
Sorry, Matilda. Old man messed up.
There we go. Much better. Thank you. Sorry.
Do this old cool kettle tune that we all like to play, one called Florida Blues.
At the Wayne Henderson Festival.
He recorded this. Mark come down and asked me about using my name maybe for a show or a festival or something, and that really appealed to me because I knew what a beautiful place this is and be cool, and we've been doing it for 30 years, and some of those folks still around. We're all getting old and stuff. That's the reason we're quitting doing it. It's not anything but that. We're just getting tired, and it's hard to find young folks, that want to do that much work, and I'm sure they're out there. We just ain't found them. And how I got that festival started, I see Harvey back there with a T-shirt on from the very first festival. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not fooled. Maybe I don't know. I can't see that far. Anyway, Harvey Thompson was a park manager here for years, and he was always supportive with us. I played up there in at the campground on Labor Day and Memorial Day for probably 40 years, I guess. And he's always, having me do that, and I appreciate that. And the park here has been wonderful. I've got volunteers. Becky Ward's over here, she's our big boss, and I actually built her a dulcimer that I hadn't. She used to play some dulcimer, and I built her a dulcimer that I hadn't made one in probably 40 years, maybe 30 years or something. I've never made but 5. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I made her a fancy the D45 dulcimer. I'm proud of it myself. It's got pearl and pretty wood. Anyway, we couldn't have done none of this without help from all the volunteers and people that does all the hard work and all year long. And we'd love to give scholarships to those kids, and hopefully that'll keep going. And if we can make $40,000 about raffling a guitar, we'd figure some way to do that and keep our scholarship going. And we're gonna, that first festival, I know you've heard of Doc Watson. He was a good friend of mine, and not too far a neighbor, everything. And you know how famous he was. And 30 years ago, he was almost sort of at the height of his career and stuff. And I asked him if he would come play at that first festival. He had to think about it a while, and he said, yeah, we'll do it. And then next time I said, now when is that? He had forgot. But anyway, he kept it on his mind, and he said one day, I'll help you get your festival started. So he came, and we had a fantastic crowd, the very first one we ever had. And that is a lot due to Doc. He was a wonderful person too. And I've always been able to, get great people to come play like what you've seen today, and try to get a little bit of music like you don't usually hear. Old LT, you probably ain't heard something like that lately. And he was wonderful, I thought, and had different kinds of music. But anyway, mainly for y'all showing up and supporting it and playing it, and showing up and playing. So we're gonna do you one more tune, and we'll do one of those Doc tunes. Do an instrumental tune, and so it's one that he called Nothing to It. He would take his old tunes. Old Jimmy over here, see him, he's usually will blow a train whistle when he plays something, but he said he was stopped up or something. I don't know. He said it wasn't working. But anyway, I wish it was. That's something pretty unusual too. But anyway, we thank you all so much for the support over 30 whole years, and we're gonna play a Doc Watson tune. He played here, the first one, and one called Nothing to It. Y'all ready to pick? John Holder out there for doing sound for us, doing such a good job. We appreciate that. And thanks to y'all for coming.